How will the Republican Party move on from Trump? Whether Trump becomes politically irrelevant, goes to prison, stops running for office, whatever. Once he's largely out of the public eye, how are Republicans going to move forward when they no longer have the man who's dominated their politics since 2015, at least 2016? But yeah, it's a good question. And I've heard a lot of people think about it, even going back to like 2019, when we didn't know if Trump would win re-election. There are a number of possibilities in my view. First, there's the possibility that they double down. They say, well, wasn't that good. I really enjoyed having that guy as president. Mean tweets and low prices. Yeah, that guy was great. He told it like it was. He took on the deep state. He didn't start any new wars. He was funny. He went to McDonald's and dressed up like a McDonald's employee, and he dressed up like a garbage man. We need more of this. In fact, if anything, the problem is that Trump didn't go far enough. And then what'll they do? They'll nominate someone who's more insane than Trump. And yes, those people do exist. They'll nominate someone who wears it on their sleeve even more. And those people do exist. They'll nominate someone who really cares about themselves and doesn't care about others in the same way that Trump does. Now, will they be the same person? Absolutely not. He's a one of a kind. I don't think there will ever be another. Kind of like how there'll never be another FDR because we have an amendment that prohibits presidents from having more than 2 terms. There will never be another Donald Trump. But the Republicans will find someone to take on that mantle if they want to double down. The question is, will they? Will the Trump wing of the Republican Party outnumber and dominate the more establishment wing of the Republican Party that says, we like some of Trump's policies, but we don't like him saying stuff like Liz Cheney should be executed at a military tribunal, like saying that I want to be a dictator on day one, like saying we should terminate the Constitution, like inciting riots against the Capitol, like refusing to concede, like refusing a peaceful transition of power. We don't like that, but we want tax cuts, we want deregulation, we want tough border policy, but Trumpism is not the way to go. Which one of those sides of the Republican Party will win out? And whichever one wins is going to determine whether or not the Republican Party doubles, triples down on Trump or backs away. So let's talk about backing away. When was the last time the Republican Party backed away from one of their stars? I would say it's George W. Bush. So, by the way, it didn't seem like George W. Bush was ever going to get much backlash for a little bit. And let me address that. In 2001, remember 9/11 happened, he had a nearly 90% approval rating. Some polls may have even showed over 90% approval rating for him. But all good things come to an end, and he ended up leaving office with about a 25% approval rating. Dick Cheney's was even lower, like 17%. So popular figures can fall from grace. So will the Republican Party feel embarrassed about Donald Trump in the same way that a lot of Republicans and even Trumpites, especially Trumpites, feel about George W. Bush? They attack him a lot. They don't show him any mercy just because he had an R after his name. They'll gladly join Democrats in saying that the Iraq War was a horrific mistake. And they'll attack Democrats, of course, for having supported the Iraq War. And that's how they kind of square peg the round hole of saying Trump is the answer. But will Republicans start to feel the same way about Trump as a lot of Republicans in the 2010s and 2020s have started to feel about George W. Bush? They drag Bush as a neocon. They say he was a rhino. They say he was a left-winger sometimes, believe it or not. A big government Republican, if you will. Will there be Republicans in the late 2020s, 2030s who say, yeah, I'm really embarrassed that we had Trump, but he doesn't represent the Republican Party. That's what a lot of Republicans would say about Bush now, actually. Pro-Trump Republicans, they would say, Bush doesn't represent the Republican Party. He might as well be a Democrat. In fact, Obama was just a third and fourth term of Bush. That's not true, but they make some arguments for that. Some of them are more coherent than others. So they might move on from Trump in the sense that they say, yeah, he didn't really represent the Republican Party. And how they'll use that is they'll use it to deflect criticism from Democrats in future elections when they point out, look at how bad things were under Trump. Look at what an embarrassment he was to our country. The Republicans will say, we agree with that, but he was not representative of the Republican Party, so you can shut up about that and stop criticizing our party for that. Associating political parties with unpopular or bad figures is often a winning strategy, and the Republicans might recognize that. If they kept going out there and saying, George W. Bush was awesome, George W. Bush was the best, Iraq War, Afghanistan War, those were amazing decisions. What a true leader. They might have a hard time gaining support because they keep reminding people about some of the stuff that people didn't like about Bush. And there was stuff that people did like about Bush too. There's no doubt his personality was charming, but people remember the Great Recession. People remember the wars. And so the Republican Party, I will give them credit for this. They have astutely recognized that Bush was political poison for a while. And so in the 2010s, they moved on from him. But will they do the same about Trump? Or will they be hypnotized by his angry, albeit confident, MAGA energy? It's tough to say. But yeah, what do you think? Do you think the Republicans are going to back away from Trump? Say, well, he doesn't really represent us. He was just a one-off thing. He's kind of a weirdo. Democrats can't really criticize us for being associated with him just because he has an R next to his name. Or will they double down? Will they say, we need someone new to carry on the mantle of Trumpism. We need someone new who tells it like it is, who owns the left, who wears it on their sleeve, who doesn't care what other people think, who's an alpha male? I don't know. What do you think happens? What do you think we'll be talking about in the 2030s? Will Republicans be saying, oh, Trump was just the worst? Yeah, no, he doesn't represent us. We need a true Republican in here. Or will they be saying, let's bring on the MAGA energy again? Yeah, we want someone who makes mean tweets again. Yeah, we want someone who makes the left mad. And Trump didn't go far enough. Let me know what you think in the comments. As always, please leave a like, comment, or subscribe to this channel if you found this video interesting, helpful, or insightful. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to speaking to you in the next video.